What's going on, Sip Sip? ICE shootings. There have been one ICE shooting that you know of. I want to talk about the ICE shooting of Renee Good. I want to talk about the other ICE shooting that you weren't aware of. I want to talk about the protest that erupted. I want to talk about the media spin. Yeah, the media spin that Kristi Noem and your Trump, the Cheeto, has put on this. Again, and I want to talk about ICE shootings, the calculated spin that they put on this. I want to talk about the media outcry, or not the outcry. I want to talk about the public outcry with the protests. I want to talk about the media spin and the Texans going to the playoffs, baby. This is my weekly recap. Yeah. Thank you for coming back to Sip, Smoke, and Share with Ronnie. But every week I typically do this outside, but I think it's like 50 degrees here in Houston. And so I'm not sitting outside. I'm sipping on my coffee. Yeah, it says hope. I don't know if we have hope based on the recent events here in America. So on if you're not aware, Renee Good, 37-year-old mother of three, was fatally shot by ICE agents on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, as she was had her car in the street watching some ICE agents, which she typically does, her and people in Minneapolis. Anytime there's an ICE agent or some kind of gathering for ICE to do their thing, these people watch and videotape, and they're not basically disrupting. They're just there because they don't really want these people in their city, right? And so they were doing this. She had her car blocked. They come up and pulled up on her, grabbing on the car, yanking on the door, and then in her, you understand that there's two responses when you're inundated or overwhelmed by things. There's either fight or flight, and she chose flight. And so as the guy's beating on her door and yanking on her handle, she decided to leave. And then there was another guy that got in front of her car. But if you look at the video, he sidestepped the car because she was turning away from him, trying to leave. And then he, boom, 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 shot 3 shots in there and shot in the head. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. That happened. Mother of 3, she had just dropped the kids off, and was videotaping what she normally does. No, just, it's horrible as I think about it. I can't even talk about it, but she was unalived at the hands of an ICE agent. These guys are bamming and beating on the car and yelling. What would you do? My thing is, what would you do, right, if you were approached with the same nonsense? But they labeled her as a domestic terrorist. So she was labeled as a domestic terrorist. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you what domestic terrorism looks like and sounds like. According to the FBI, the U.S. Code defines domestic terrorism as acts that are dangerous to human life, that violate federal and state criminal laws, intend to intimidate or coerce civilians, influence government policies by intimidating or coercion. It's caused by mass destruction, assassination, or kidnapping. She didn't fit any of those descriptions. Domestic terrorism is typically dangerous to human life or potentially destructive of critical infrastructure and key resources. She wasn't doing any of that. She was a mother, again, 37 years old, mother of 3. She was trying to get away from these fools bamming and beating on the car and yanking on the door handle. And they, you've seen the stuff where they yank people out of their cars and doing all of this. And so her natural reaction, which probably 90% of us would be to flight. We try to leave and get away from this situation because these fools are crazy. But what I bet you didn't know is that also in Portland, Oregon, on Thursday, guess what? There was a second shooting. Just like the shooting that happened in Minneapolis, there have been 2 shootings in Minneapolis this year. And one was caused by the ICE agent. So they say that this place is unsafe. No. So the second shooting, Portland police received a call that there was somebody shot after 2:15 p.m. So, shot by an ICE agent. They said that these people were involved in the Venezuelan gang. I've been trying to read the reports. It says that the report says that the driver. This is what the ICE people are saying. They're saying that the driver attempted to run over law enforcement agents, and they said that the same as the other shooting in Minneapolis, fired a defensive shot. But a witness that saw the incident says that he saw officers follow the truck into the parking lot, and the truck's window, they were pounding on the truck's window. Then officers fired about 5 shots at the truck as the driver sped away. But notice that they're going to say that this guy used or the female in this case, because he shot both of these people in his car. They're going to say that these people, in some of the reports I already read, say that they were domestic terrorists. You understand what I'm saying? And they said that this guy was tied to a Venezuelan gang. Regardless of the fact is that this has now become the norm. So we have 1 week for this week of January, the first full week of January. We start off with 2 ICE shootings, and they mirror the same thing. They said that the driver used this car, weaponized this vehicle against ICE agents, and they fired defensive shot. The first ICE agent in the video that I saw when they shot Renee Good, the 37-year-old mother, if you look at the video, he was partially, one leg was in front of the car. He stepped back to fire the shot. He could have stepped back and not shot because she was going to the right. But y'all be careful. So I think what they're trying to do, and this is just me speaking, from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, I'm reading between the lines, I feel that they're trying to set the norm and the tone. And you mark my word, you heard it here first on Sip, Smoke, and Share. There are going to be more of these starting next week. There are going to be more of these shootings. So I pray that it doesn't happen, but I just think they're setting the tone and prepping people's ears for it. So when it happens, we can be desensitized to it. Yeah, but guess what? The public outcry is growing, and this is growing, at a fast rate. So just like they had the No Kings rally, now they having these rallies. They had Baltimore, Boston, Chicago, Florida, Des Moines, Iowa, Raleigh, North Carolina, Andover, El Paso, Houston, Connecticut, Fairfield, Connecticut, Honolulu, Indiana, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, Indianapolis, New York, Philly, Portland, San Francisco, Washington, D.C. They had over 1,000 protests this week. Marches, protesting the inhumane way that the ICE agents are treating people and how they're going about this. I don't have a problem with you taking illegals out of this country, but you shouldn't be doing it like this. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to stop people at a traffic stop, if you want to get people from work, you don't have to go and just like in a military style operation and just bombard people and then just walking up like you're just talking to regular people. I saw a video where a guy was just sitting in his car at work, an Uber driver, but he was a melanated type person, and they just walked up and grabbed on his door and opened the door. That type of shit needs to stop. In my opinion, these are my opinions and my opinions alone. You understand what I'm saying? These are my opinions and my opinions alone. That's where I feel about it. The public is out crying. How do you feel about this? What city are you in? Have you seen ICE agents here? In Houston, when they first started this, there was a place on MLK. For my lighter hue folk, Martin Luther King Boulevard, there was a place called Burger Park. Had great hamburgers. It was, I don't know who owned the spot, but I know that there were a bunch of South American people from South America, south of the border, working in there. And, I saw videos when ICE first started coming around and people were running. Now you go by there, the place is closed. So I don't have a problem with you taking people out of the country, but let's just do it in a respectful manner. You understand? Because innocent people are getting hurt. So also the next thing I want to talk about is the Texans. My Texans, yeah, they in the playoffs. Yeah, they on a 9-game winning streak. You understand me? So they play Chicago, and shout out to Chicago and Caleb Williams for that comeback. They were down by 18. And that boy got in there. Boom, boom. But see, when you had that dog in you, I said when you had that dog in you and you don't play like a little kitty cat, you can bring your team back because you'll run, you'll get hit, you'll do what it is necessary for your team to win. Oh, I thought a quarterback with some painted fingernails said something. Yeah, I don't understand that, but when you got that dog in you, you can come back. They beat the Packers, 31-27, came back in the last 3 minutes and threw a touchdown, but he also ran and got that dog in him. The Texans are they playing the wild card. We're what is that? We are, what do they call it on? We're projected to win the game. Most of the pundits and the talking heads say that the Texans will win primarily because of their defense. Me personally, I think the Texans can do it, but we can't do that shit by kicking 5-6 field goals and settling for 3 points when we should have got 6 or 7. So that's my thing. We need to kick more field goals. CJ Stroud, he needs to play with some dog in him. He needs to stop being timid and all frantic. Calm your ass down, man. But I understand he's a cat. Cats like want to run away and oh my Lord, take the heat, calm down, make the pass, take a hit or two. You're gonna have to get hit, homeboy. See, when he first came in the league, and there are many opinions on this, when he first came in the league, that boy was running and gunning and doing all kinds of things. But now everybody's saying, oh, I don't give a shit. Take the hit, homeboy. You can't win being a cat. And we can't win when we can't score in the red zone. For those that don't know, football field is 100 yards, 50 on this side, 50. When we get in the 20-yard line and the goal line, that's called the red zone. The Texans do not score when we get in the red zone. What do? We settle for field goals. And just last week, I was at the game and they talking about the Texans are they kicked the most field goals in NFL history in the season. That ain't no fucking award. That just tells me that your ass can't score. But hey, hopefully it's going to be a good game Monday night. We're playing the Steelers. We're playing the 50-year-old quarterback on the other side. But, Debo is in the game, so ain't no telling where Debo go loose. Hey, and also I got to tell you that I've been reading this book. Thank you to Shell for the recommendation and the purchase. But this book right here by Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil, man, I tell you right here, this thing is, hey, I've been reading this book, and this is 2026. I told you I got it right over there. You can't see it, but I put it on my mantle in my fireplace so I can look at it. That's what my 2026 is going to be like. More life, more fun, more adventure, more trips, more sand between my toes, more hugs, more love, more encouragement. I ain't hating on nobody. I wish everybody to do their thing. Yeah. But don't be mad at me when my shit take off and I'm going forward and I'm doing what I want to do. When I show a 735, 740, 750, 760, then I'm on my way to 800 credit score. Don't get mad at me, but I got confirmation on Friday night, and I wasn't going out this year, but I got invited. Then my dog was meeting me, but I went out and I was leaving. I was leaving early, just like 10:30. I said, I'm gonna take my ass home, right? As I left, and if you know, I was at the Red Rooster. It's a place for mature folk on Friday night. You're going to see it's like Sugar Daddy Central and Old 304 Resting Ground. Yeah. Oh, I thought a 304 said something. A 60-year-old one at that. Yeah, but I was there having a good time. And hey, and thank you for the compliments for the people that complimented the bid. I'm still working on it. But as I was leaving, you understand, I was seeing people come in there with umbrellas. And I was like, shit, it's raining. I get outside and I remembered this book. I remember the things that I read in this book. it was pouring down rain. If you ever been in Houston and you seen the rain, they were coming in there. Some of the ladies were coming, they were drenched. The brother's shirt was wet, their caps was wet. When I walked out, and there was a young lady that was walking out, and she was like, damn, I don't have an umbrella. My car was right over by the post office. I guess, yeah, in that direction. So as I was walking down the sidewalk, like watching the rain and people, I say, shit, when I get to the end of this, the rain gonna stop. It's gonna stop and I'm getting in my car. And lo and behold, guess what? This book says that when you walk in your purpose and you want to do something, there's nobody stopping you but you. Go, walk in it, do it, make it happen. You don't know how it's going to happen, but by you continue to walk, things will come in your way. People, money, resources, things will happen for your benefit and your good. When I got to the edge of that walkway, that rain stopped. I walked to my car and it didn't rain for another 10 minutes from where it didn't damn near, it drizzled all the way to my house. Right? And so I'm saying that to say that this is 2026 and I don't give a damn. I'm going in this direction. Forward progression in this direction. And if you ain't going, or you could say, you could watch, you could see. But I'm going and ain't nothing gonna stop me. And I can't wait to finish this book right here. So, hey, y'all have a good week. Stay away from ICE agents. You know, if you see ICE agents, I suggest you keep your hands on the wheel. Lock your doors, unlock them so they can pull your ass out of the car and then go about your business. But you need to go about your business on this side of the dirt. Right? Y'all have a good week. Be prosperous. Remember, it's 2026. More life, more hugs, more smiles, more positivity, more creativity. Y'all have a good one. Sip, sip. Thank you, number one hater. Your shirt is coming soon. I got my shirts right back here. I'm waiting on my iron on, but I got your shirt. Y'all have a good one. Sip, sip.